Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this video comes out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's roughly about 35 minutes away from Dallas to the west of Dallas. Yeah, it's the culture, gun violence as always. But here we go.
Morning trip to the car wash ends with a father and a young daughter shot and killed in Forest Hill. This happened just off I-20. Police were at the crime scene all day investigating. NBC5's Maria Guerrero has details.
It is family members who rushed to this scene who told NBC5 the victims are a local rapper and his little girl. Heartbreaking moments just after 11 Monday morning as loved ones got to the scene of an unfolding tragedy. Many in disbelief over the lives lost in broad daylight.
He didn't bother nobody. He didn't target nobody. He was a family man, and he was going around rapping. Okay, why would you target him?
All right. Just cut it right there real quick. Right when I heard he say he was a local rapper, I automatically knew. It always happened to be that way. It's like, that's the culture. He's a local rapper. What happens with rap, synonymous with, some type of gun violence, some type of gang-related, drug-related. Unfortunately, that's the case. I'm not trying to stereotype, but, people haven't learned even from back when Biggie, Tupac were going at it. So here we are, 2025, people still doing the same exact shit. Nothing's changed, just different people, new era, new technology out there. People still using old school tactics, just to take each other out because there's some type of disagreement. Not saying this young man was involved in that. He could have been, I don't know. There's always something going on, and they target, they see, some type of local feud, some type of beef, if it's in the rap game, if it's in, dealing with drugs, if it's doing that gang life, the culture, it's always been that way. And people say, oh, they look at me like, oh, you're Uncle Tom, you're a coon, you this, you that, because I don't associate with that type of life. I see what happens. I used to listen to Tupac and, Biggie all the time, when they were going at it, he died during the year I graduated high school. Like, you know what, I made it a point to when I became an adult, I've always moved away from stuff like that. I always lived in the more nicer, the nicer areas, where you have to have a good credit score to be in that area. And yeah, there's not many black people in the areas I go to, but I avoid certain things, certain people, just because it happens. In this case, how she's saying, oh, he was a good boy, he did this, he did that, he never bothered nobody. That always comes about after the person is dead. Where the same time, I hate to bring it up, but same thing with George Floyd. Oh, he was this, he was this, he was this. But look at his past. Look what the events led up to, before he got murdered or deleted. I always say this, but did he actually live that life? You may put on a facade while you seen him, but you're not around him 24/7. You don't see the other things he do at night, overnight, on the weekends when you're not around him. So that life catches up to you. And unfortunately, this man got taken out along with his daughter. It sucks, People are targeting little children, but that's how that culture is.
And a baby, his baby.
Stella Houston says her nephew, Ronnie Smith, and his daughter are the victims of gun violence at Slappy's Express Car Wash in Forest Hill. Houston says Smith was a rapper known as Lil Ronnie. He was a good man and adored his two kids. His daughter had just turned 5 yesterday.
All we know is that he was tagged, he was doing the car, cleaning the car out. And
he said, all we know, he was just cleaning the car out. No one else was around him. It could have been a drug deal going bad. I'm not saying, I'm saying that, but I'm not, accusing him of that. It's a plethora of different things that could have happened. It could have been a gang initiation. Oh, take out that guy. It happens too. It's part of that culture. Or it could have been something as simple as, a deal going bad. They see them, some type of beef. That's that life.
Somebody came through shooting and killed him and the baby.
With emotions raw, tensions flared as extended family members and friends were kept at a distance. Officers from Fort Worth and Mansfield arriving to help with crowd control. Close family allowed to stay close to the scene of the crime, speaking with detectives throughout the day. The owner of Slappy's Car Wash, which recently opened, praising the quick police response and telling NBC5 We are shocked, appalled, and deeply troubled by the senseless and violent events. The car wash will remain closed for 2 days. This is the 4th murder in Forest Hill in just over a week.
A 4th murder in over a week. People say it's a gun problem. It's not a gun problem. Guns are the tool that kill people. It's the people that initiate these type of events. And 4th in a week, that's the culture. That is the culture. And people will argue me, I got cousins, relatives, friends, and, oh, this or oh, that, you just doing this. Like, no, it's proof. I've never had any issues like that. I've always stayed away from it. I lived in nicer areas, done other things. But I always see it, daily basis. You could turn on any news channel, there's something going on. It's the culture. But people fail. The thing is, we know who the Pookies and the Ray Rays are. We know who the slingers. We know who the shooters are. We know who that guy is within the neighborhoods. But we also have in that culture the no snitching policy, some unwritten, no snitching, no snitching. If we simply snitched and start pulling, point accountability to taking on these people, things would get cleaned up. But we don't want to, because it's not the thing to do in the community, in the culture. And so it perpetuates. It's going to be endless. And you have people from the outside looking in, and they always say, those people, that's the type of people, that's, them. Like I'm in that, my skin color, I'm thrown in that group too. Although I don't do nothing about it, do nothing with it. That's just how it's seen, because that's what you always see. But let me know your thoughts, comment down below, like it or not, your opinions about the situation. Like I said, it's in Houston, 30, 40, 35 minutes away from where I used to live in North Dallas, Plano. It sucks. It even happens here in Houston, in Seattle. It's just culture, man. People got to start wising up. You think, when you hit a certain age, after so many years of it happening, that we learn to not do certain things. But no, people, it's too ingrained in your system. You could take the person out the hood, the culture, but if that's what they want to stay in, you can't. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. But let me know your thoughts. Comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and catch me in the next video. Peace.